I mean, all of the things that we have can be replaced, but your life cannot.
Next at 11, more rain starting to hit San Diego right now. What you need to know to stay safe.
And we're tracking weather conditions in Oceanside as rain and wind gusts start to pick up here.
There are some parts of the county that already have 3/10 of an inch on the ground, in some cases even more. And we're going to be working with several rounds of moderate to heavy rain in the coming hours. We'll be talking about how much is left in atmospheric river number 1, and then we'll be talking about atmospheric river number 2 coming next week.
The city of San Diego should count their lucky stars that nobody died.
San Diego faces legal action after last week's disastrous flooding. Why some homeowners say the city is at fault. CBS 8 News live at 11 starts right now.
We will be issuing an evacuation warning to residents in low-lying areas. It is designed to encourage residents in these flood-prone communities to prepare if and when evacuation does become necessary.
And we do begin this morning with a flood advisory that just went into effect, as well as a flood warning. There is also a voluntary evacuation warning in effect for low-lying communities across San Diego as more rain brings the threat of more flooding.
The time right now is 11:01, and here at CBS 8, we are tracking this new storm that is hitting San Diego right now, coming right after last week's devastating flooding. I'm Neda Iranpour.
And I'm Eric Connor. Glad you're with us here. Right now, hundreds of San Diegans are preparing for the worst while still picking up the pieces from last week.
We have team coverage for you today on today's storm. Regina Yorita is live in North County now, where the storm is hitting, as you can see there. And Chris Groh is checking in on South Crest. Some of the worst flooding happened there. We also have Kelly Hessedal live in Mountain View, reporting on yet another hard-hit neighborhood.
First, though, let's check in with meteorologist Evan Rani here. You're tracking the latest on the storm. It's coming down right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got it with good intensity across San Diego County right now. Picked up initially around the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock hour with the lighter bands, and now has intensified in the last hour or so. So when we look at the last 3 hours, you can see how the bulk of that rain has traveled south. Let's zoom into San Diego County. You can see some of those stronger bands are right now just offshore, likely right now to be making their way farther off from west to east. That means in the coming hours, North County is going to get hit pretty hard with several rounds of moderate to heavy rain. Temperatures this afternoon are much cooler than just 48 hours ago, where we were in the 70s. Now we are in the 50s and 60s if we're lucky. Right now, downtown San Diego at 55 degrees. Expecting some snow over our local mountaintops as that snow level sinks from about 7,000 to 4,500 feet. And here we go. Look at all that wind across the coastline, 30 to 40 miles per hour. Palm fronds are going to be all over. So this first wave is today and tomorrow. We're looking at about 1 to 2 inches in total. We get a break for Saturday and Sunday. By late Sunday into Monday, atmospheric river number 2 comes our way. These two storms are going to pack a good amount of punch for us. Take a look at the additional accumulations we're expecting. Still over 1.5 inches to go in many spots. We've picked up in most cases on about 1/2 inch in several spots, which we'll be looking at in just a few minutes. But for a look at conditions outside right now, we do want to send things out to Regina Urita. She has the latest on what she is seeing right now from the coastline. Regina?
Yeah, Evan, and I can tell you things are picking up here. We're experiencing some pretty heavy rainfall as well as wind gust in this area. So all morning we've been tracking the weather conditions here in Oceanside. The good news is we haven't really seen any significant flooding, but I do want you to take a look at the high surf here. We're dealing with a high surf advisory in this area. No one in the water, no surfer in sight, and nobody on the boardwalk. If you can take it over here to my right side, right? But again, there is water on the road, so if you are driving through this area or towards the boardwalk, of course, you are supposed to be driving on a slower speed, just because we are seeing, just a little bit of water on the roads, definitely slick, so you do want to drive slower. But again, nobody on the boardwalk, and that's pretty much what we're looking at. But to clarify, we haven't seen any areas that have significant flooding. As far as sandbags, businesses on Mission haven't placed any of them outside their shops, but we did go out to one location where they were distributing sandbags. This was one sandbag distribution center located near Camino Real. And at that location, there were no sandbags in sight. So it appears that businesses or people actually picked up their sandbags ahead of time. So right now we are in the thick of that rainfall. You can see, again, no one inside at the moment. The boardwalk is completely empty. But again, we will try to continue to track the weather conditions here. What is making it really difficult right now is those wind gusts. When we get, one of those gusty winds, it is pretty difficult, just the temperature, the cold temperatures here. But again, we are in the thick of it. It is rainy. As far as that, I do want to send it over to my colleague Chris Grow, who's actually in South Crest, because I want to know what the conditions are looking in that area. Chris?
Yeah, things have really picked up since early this morning. In fact, you can see it both with the rain, but then also with the water that's been flowing. And in it, you can see the debris, the trash, and all of also the natural elements, those leaves, those branches, a lot of that muck all being carried away right now. And at the same time, you can still see some of the evidence from the flooding that we had where this all overflowed from last week. A lot of that, you could still see where those water lines were. In fact, we drove around South Crest for several hours this morning just after our morning show, and we could just see again the evidence not only of what happened last week, but the difference in preparation. So many people having already put up sandbags where those water lines were from just a week ago. We also saw the amount of first responders that were going around. In fact, far outnumbering the amount of residents you would maybe even see on a morning walk, even when the rain wasn't happening at that time. We saw the state swift water rescue team from the California Office of Emergency Management. We saw them driving around this area. Just a short time ago here off camera, we saw the San Diego Fire lifeguards also going around. There's been a number of police officers in the area as well too. And again, I think that serves the point that they are trying to make sure that they are prepared, but also making sure that residents are aware of what could happen, what did happen, and of course how it is that they can help them maybe try to avoid a lot of that mess that we saw last week, or maybe even get out ahead of time. Now, if you are planning to evacuate from one of these low-lying areas like South Crest, the best thing to do is to try to leave now. If you're going to see any standing water, any of that ponding water, which we have started to see, again, some of it, very small, but some of it, best to try to avoid that. Turn around if you can. Don't drive through it. It's only going to get worse from here. We saw just last week a number of people taking to higher ground. Try not to go to your roof. If you do have to, though, try to signal for help right away. Again, we're seeing those swift water rescue teams making sure that they are present, that they are visible, and that you see them. Last bit of tips that we want to make sure that you get out here. Do not go into an enclosed attic if you do get to that situation where the floodwaters are rising through that first floor, that second floor. So as we come back out here live right now, again, I do want to just show you the river that is just flowing through here right now. This was not nearly at this level early this morning when we were here, and we've been here since about 5 o'clock this morning. So about 5 o'clock this morning, we've already seen this start to rise significantly, and I'm curious to see what our other reporters are seeing. In fact, we have Kelly Hessedal, who's live in Mountain View right now. So Kelly, tell us what exactly you're seeing out there.
That's right, and we've been getting plenty of rain here in Mountain View as well. Now, the city did come through over the weekend and clear the channel here behind so many of the homes here along 42nd Street. But I want to show you what the channel looks like right now. You can see the water is flowing. And as you heard Chris say, we are seeing it rise or have seen it rise within the past hour or so. But the water's moving. That's certainly a good sign. Now, Raul Landavazo, I introduced you to him last Monday, the day of the storm. This is his backyard that I'm standing in. He came by today to check on the channel and to see how much rain there is out there so far.
We're still concerned, and we're going to see what happens. I mean, the worst already happened. It can't get any worse, as you guys can see. So I actually wanted to rain harder so we can see if the work the city did is going to work for us.
And so far, no problems yet. But as you heard him say, the concern is certainly still there. You can imagine the anxiety homeowners here feel afraid this area will flood again. Now, as you mentioned, yesterday, the mayor issued a voluntary evacuation warning for flood-prone areas. Landavazzo tells me most of his neighbors have already left because there's mold in so many of the homes here. They left to stay with family members. He says some got vouchers to stay in motels. Now, just to remind you of what the channel looked like before, we do have a side-by-side image before and after it was cleared. A lot of trees, vegetation, debris was cleared away. Landavazzo says it took about 3 days to clear the area behind his house, and he just wishes this would have happened before last week's storm.
They ignored our calls. You know, they say they work for the city, works for the people. They weren't working for us.
And I can tell you, I have seen a couple of city crews in this neighborhood. I saw a fire truck earlier as well, and it appeared they were kind of canvassing the area, keeping an eye on things. So we're going to remain out here all day long here in Mountain View, monitoring things as well, and we'll keep you guys posted. Kelly Hessedal, CBSE.
Kelly, good to hear that those rescue crews are ready. They're roaming, and they're there to help.
Let's hope it's all calm. Thank you very much.
No problem there. Thank you, Kelly. And remember, you can keep up with the latest weather conditions and alerts on the go. Download the free CBS 8 app from Google Play or the Apple App Store right now, because we'll be sending you the latest alerts on this storm.